Sick. So if we're all okay, I might actually kick off. I know we're a couple of minutes into it, so we might as well give it a go. So hi, everyone. Hi to everyone that joined early on our little, practice run, as Justin, Kylie and I wanted to jump on and make sure that we had audio working, videos working, and to calm our nerves a little bit. But it's great to have everyone here. I'm going to share a PowerPoint slide deck, but it'll be a bit of a mix between a slide deck and a real life demo, because I know that, you don't want to desk by PowerPoint. It's nice to see the real thing. So I'll just share my screen now. So everyone can see my screen, or Justin and Kylie, you can see?
Yeah.
Okay. All right. So welcome everyone. Rachel, I'm sure you would have met me along the way. I think I know most of you that have joined the webinar. So the general manager over here, we're aiming to actually run probably one webinar a month. Not every webinar topic suits all of our customers, and it's what some are after certain type of discussions around printIQ. We're running another one in October around the gagging at the estimate functionality, but today we've got Kylie, Justin and Sam on the call. So Justin, obviously our sales manager, everyone I'm sure knows Justin. Kylie, the owner of Squirrel. So yeah, over to you, Kylie.
Thanks, Rachel. Yeah, great to be here. And I guess the first kind of reason that just to talk a little bit about why we're here and what the webinar is about. Today, we've got a really rapidly evolving business landscape, and efficiency and streamlined operations are really key to staying competitive. And there's certainly things that most business owners that I talk to are bringing up with me. For print businesses, having systems that work in isolation from each other can really create bottlenecks, inefficiencies and data silos that can really slow down your process and impact customer service as well. So connecting systems like printIQ and the Zoho One suite of applications allows for really seamless communication between departments within your business, ensuring that data flows quite effortlessly through those platforms. So today we're going to be talking about workflow and integration, and how that not only reduces manual work, but also provides real-time insights and enables teams to respond faster and more effectively to customer needs, ultimately, hopefully, driving more operational efficiency and business growth. And to bring this concept to life, I am super excited to introduce Sam from Mirage Visual, who's one of printIQ and Squirrel's mutual clients, who's been using this integrated solution for about 2 years now, I think. Sam, I know when I met you, you already had a really successful business and had embraced the efficiency that printIQ had delivered you. But you still wanted to embrace more automation and kind of add some secret sauce to the mix. So thrilled to have you here to share your experience on how these enhancements have made a real difference to your business. If you could maybe firstly share just a little bit about Mirage Visual, who you are and how you fit into the print industry.
Yeah, no, definitely. So obviously my camera for some reason is not working, but that's all right. We'll carry on.
I know you're handsome.
Yeah, exactly. And just imagine someone you want to imagine. It might be better anyway. So Mirage is a family-owned company. We're in our 43rd year of business. We like to think of ourselves as more than a creative production house. We like to partner and get close with our customers to bring their ideas to life through three main swim lanes, so creative services, production services, and logistics. We're probably a little bit strange in the fact we don't have any sales staff, so our way of marketing ourselves is to be loved by our customers. And so we only get loved by our customers by delivering a streamlined service approach from the first feelings right through to the end of the thing. So that's why I sort of hunted out how we can make the process more streamlined with technology, because I think that's probably key to how we evolve. Yeah, and so that's a little bit about Mirage and what we do, but
I really love, Sam, that, you know, marketing through being loved by customers. I think that's it's key, right? So that's fantastic. Thank you. I guess before we dive into some of the improvements that have come along, it's important, I think, to understand the challenges that you and your team were facing before integrating printIQ and introducing Zoho into the mix. I think some of the struggles that I recall you talking about were quotes not being sent out on the same day where possible, order requests getting buried in people's inboxes and maybe even yours. And there was a real heavy reliance on yourself to manage complex requests. So, you know, bottlenecks, I guess, that were slowing down operations and making it difficult to scale effectively and empower the team as well. Is there anything else that you wanted to add to those challenges, Sam?
Yeah, definitely. I mean, yeah, my email inbox, I think, well, there's always probably the backlog. I'm probably the worst person in the company to send a job to. But, you know, we had issues with keeping track of everything across the different departments. So it's all the pre-sales stuff. So site survey information, just back chat with customers and all of that stuff before it ended up even becoming a job. We wanted to capture that and clip it so it was seamless with the printIQ job when it actually turned into a job. And we just had problems seeing where each project was going and making sure everyone was on the same page. So yeah, they are kind of some of the main issues that we're working on. My accountant's always telling me to work on the business and not in the business. So having a more streamlined system certainly helped me step away, but the clients still feel like I'm quite involved or there with what we've done.
Yeah, fantastic.
And I kind of agree, Sam. Like we, at printIQ, we use the Zoho suite of tools as well operationally to run our business. So there's lots of areas that we still need to refine. So we're high users of the CRM, a lot, connected into printIQ, and we use daily the click functionalities, like a chat functionality within the printIQ business to connect the teams, because we're all remote and things like that. So everyone lives and breathes utilizing click. And so printIQ, obviously printIQ customers, printIQ brings that element of transparency of where jobs are, quotes are at, running through their business. But what you still need, I guess, to wrap around printIQ is some transparency out to, between the teams operationally in your business, but also with the CRM functionality. So we find a lot of our customers are looking at ways that they can track their, what's going on with their customers, their sales, lead generation, campaign management and all of that, which obviously it just the Zoho suite of tools we find anyway just complement us internally, even at printIQ, around our business. So
yeah, definitely the solution that we implemented for Sam and I know we've worked with you guys as well closely, was really designed to wrap around printIQ. I mean, it's already a fantastic quote, order and job workflow system. So we really just wanted to be able to enhance its capabilities. So, I mean, just to talk to Sam's solution, we introduced Zoho Desk to centralize and capture inbound inquiries and take things out of people's inboxes. From there, those inquiries are pushed into their CRM and then directly onto printIQ's request for quote board. So that integration has really ensured a streamlined workflow where everything's captured and tracked and acted upon efficiently. And I do know that it has sped up that entire process and really improved visibility across the team and made sure that quotes are actually going out faster and hopefully, I think, ultimately increase sales over time as well.
Yeah, definitely. So you're happy? So I guess what we've got here is we're going to jump into a bit of a demo. It's going to be a bit of a tag team because, Kylie will go into what they've created with Mirage. for our printIQ customers, it'd be great to see how that solution, could potentially wrap around in your business, but also Justin's then going to take over control and show you just how the standard functionality from RFQs works within printIQ, because we're aware that not all of our customers are really leveraging off the RFQ functionality within printIQ, and there is a lot, that can be done with it. I guess it's not suited to all customers, but so it's a bit of a tag team demo. So I guess I'll hand over screen. I'll stop sharing here, Kylie, and hand over to you.
Yeah, no worries. Thank you. Can everybody see my Mirage Visual screen? Yep.
Yep.
Great. So what you're seeing today, so as we've talked about, Sam has what's called Zoho One, which is a suite of applications. So I'm going to show you through the CRM and through Desk today, and obviously printIQ a little bit as well. So this is the ticketing tool where all of the inbound inquiries come through. So for Mirage, they can come through email into the various departments within their CRM, or within Desk, sorry. They can also come through via phone, and a ticket can be raised off a phone call. And they also have a chatbot on their website that creates tickets within Desk too, if they're not answered. So this is just a ticket that is sitting here ready to be triaged, essentially. So if Sam looks at this ticket and is like, okay, well, Rachel and Squirrel Print House is a new client, all they need to do is check this Create CRM Contact box and click Save. And what that does is push over into the CRM and generate that customer and contact record in here. So if we pop over into the customer area here, you can see up the top that Squirrel Print House has been created. And what we do is just map across kind of the mandatory fields that are needed to push over into printIQ and create that corresponding customer in there. So if I grab the account number here and just jump over into IQ and search, you'll see that customer has been created over in here, and we've pushed across that account number back into CRM, and we've got our contact in here. The integrations are two-way sync for mapped fields, which is quite instantaneous. If I jump back into the Desk ticket, the next step of that process, maybe after a phone call or what have you, if you don't have enough information to create the order or the request for quote, you can then jump in here. I'm just going to be a bit of a cheat and copy and paste the very helpful information that Rachel's given me and pop it into this notes section on the ticket. And I'm going to update my classification to RFQ and click Save. What that does then is actually push across to printIQ and raise an RFQ in the system. So you can see that it's automatically updated the status here and is going to push back over into IQ. Just giving that a couple of seconds. So just down here, you can see the RFQ link has come back through onto the Desk ticket. If I click through to here, I can be taken directly into the RFQ in printIQ itself. My notes have gone across into here, and I can then, the estimator can pick it up and do the actual quote. If I jump back over into the CRM, I've just gone into the opportunities board. Just do a quick refresh. That RFQ record will be sitting in on the opportunities board here as well, with a link through again to printIQ. So it doesn't really matter where I'm working, the links will be there. I'm just going to show you. So this is kind of the opportunity sales pipeline. If I click through to a quote that's already been triaged in printIQ and actually quoted, you can see that then updates through to awaiting acceptance and pushes back links to that actual quote. So here was my RFQ link for that one, and here's my printIQ quote. And I've also got a link to the desk ticket. So again, doesn't really matter where I am. If I'm in the CRM and I want to see the communication that's going on around this particular job, I can click through and it'll take me through to that ticket and show me where that's up to and the communication that's going on around it. And again, we've got links through in here to that quote and to the RFQ itself. Sam, I know, is that kind of a good reflection of what we've done in your business? Did you have any comments around, perhaps how you use the job board or the opportunities board in the CRM?
Yeah, no, I mean, that's definitely a great reflection of what we've implemented. The integration we've found has really hit the mark. It's probably made improvements greater than we were expecting, so that's kind of a good thing. Quite often when you spend a lot of money, you kind of unsure whether it's gonna make the efficiencies you want. I know with machinery purchase, that's always the case, but this certainly has given us more efficiency and time saving. So at the end of the day, time is money. We view the boards, so in the CRM, I know particularly, like I will have a look in there. I can see what jobs are on hold, how long they've been on hold, and I can drill down to like a status on each, what's on each machine, what's getting laminated, what's, et cetera, as you're hovering over. Desk shared tickets across the departments. It just provides transparency for what's going on. And we get that zoomed out bird's eye view of what's happening on the business on a daily basis. So I don't need to hop into the bottom level detail. I can just sort of glance over and see what's going on. Yeah, so that's kind of how I use it. And each of our team uses different parts of it. So yeah.
Thanks, Sam. I think I might hand over to Justin now to kind of show some other magic in IQ and the RFQ board over in there.
And I guess, so we've got the questions and answers chat box. There is a slide at the end where we'll take all the questions and answers, but we thought rather than jumping in and out, and breaking up the demo, we'll just do all the questions and answers at the end. So over to you, Justin.
Thanks, Rachel. Thanks, Kylie. So as Rachel mentioned earlier, RFQ's been in printIQ for a long time, but it's probably an underutilised area of printIQ with a lot of our customers. So I'm just going to show you a couple of examples of how you can use the RFQ process in printIQ. So the first one will be, we'll come in here and request for quote. Now this can be done by a customer or it can be done by an internal salesperson at your end. So we'll give the job a title. We can choose who the RFQ contact's going to be. Choose me. If we had artwork that we wanted to supply that they could quote on, we can choose a file and we can add the artwork. From there, we have the notes section and we can just, just go into a previous one. Copy and then go in, just rather than you sit there and me with my my single finger typing, I'll just copy and paste one. So I can paste that in there.
Are you simulating like if a customer was to fill out this request for quote form, like a customer?
So this could be a customer or it could be an internal salesperson.
Okay, yep.
So, and then what that does is they put the details of the job in here of what they want to get quoted and they hit submit. So when they hit submit, that then goes through to a RFQ board and it goes through to your estimator. So your estimator could come into the RFQ board and come in here and see that there is a request for quote that is in over here on the status quote requested stage. So they can then come in here, they can click on the request for quote and they can have a look at what it is and they can create the product from the RFQ. So they can then choose whether it's going to be a custom product or a simplified product. If they have simplified setup and they know they could do this from a simplified, they could go and do that. If it's custom, they can come in here and they can do it from a custom quote. So from there, they hit create custom quote, and that brings that notes field up here to the top of the quote custom quote page. So there, it's easy for them just to look at and say, rightio, yep, we can give the job a name. We can come in here. We can choose the stock. We can choose that it's CMYK. CMYK. We can select any operations that might be. Say if they needed laminating on the business card, we can come in here. We can choose that front, back, both. If they needed round corners, we can do round corners and apply that. 4 corners. And then we can just come down here. We can come in and we can choose the size, choose the quantity. If we've got multiple quantities, I can put 250, 500, etc. And I hit get price like I normally would when doing a quote. But what it's done is it's taken the notes from the RFQ field and put them at the top of that quote there so that it's very easy for your estimator to see what he needs to quote on and then fill in the details in the custom quote page. From there, I just need to choose a proof contact if need be, but there I can see that this quote is in progress and it's assigned to me. So if I then proceed that quote and then go back to my request for quotes board, I can see that that quote now has gone through from quote requested to in progress to quote complete. And if I go back into quote there, it is marked there as quote complete, and the sales rep could just come in, pick up that quote and either print it out, send it out to the customer, email it, print it, take it, and progress that for the customer to be able to approve that quote. What we can also have in the request for quote area are some fields or some templates. So I can come in here and say, I'll choose the bound book template and I'll come in here and this gives me almost some prompts as to what I want to quote on. So, is it a new job? Yes, it is. It's a perfect bound book, CMYK throughout. I can come in and I can choose the stock. Templates are probably, depending on how detailed you go in a template, some of them are probably more for internal staff, whereas often we would get from a customer, I need a book, it's colour throughout, it's on a heavy stock with thinner pages and things like that. They're probably not going to know that they want a 350 gram cover and then what their tech stock is going to be. So something as detailed as this would be internal, but you can have a very complex template, or you can have a very simple template, and you can have multiple templates in printIQ.
So the templates you're saying, Justin, could sit with the customer service team where they're taken through queries and to kind of help pre-populate some of the information for the estimator rather than the estimator just trying to, read between the lines. It just speeds up the process in terms of, some pre-population.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely. So the templates, so they won't pass through to, I'll just go back into here. They won't pass through into here, this information. The estimator just has them as a record to be able to take a look at and draw down on. The only information that passes through to here is in the notes section.
Mm-hmm.
But he still has access to the template to be able to see what else needed to go on.
Yep. Cool.
Quickly close a couple of tabs and then go into another way that you can use the request for quote, which is through simplified quotes. So I can come in and again, the customer can be doing a simplified quote. They might come in here and say, rightio, I need to order my business cards, and they can come in here and they can go, right, the stock is going to be 350 or 300 gram. It's going to be CMYK 2 sides, but there's things that I want on my business card that aren't here. So in the simplified, we've hopefully built it in a way that we've got as many of your products in, but there's always going to be something that isn't in there that the customer's going to want to do. So they can hit this can't find what I'm looking for. So here they could say, rightio, I want Matt Lamb and round corners. and hit request for quote. So what that does is that goes and creates that request for quote from the simplified product into the RFQ for your estimator to see. Now the estimator will see, oh, they've gone in here from simplified and chosen them, but then there's a customer request to have matte lamine round corners. So they can then come in to again where I went before and choose to create that product. Again, they might say, oh, actually, we do have matte lamine round corners in simplified. The customer just didn't know where it was, or the internal salesperson didn't know where it was. So I could create this quote from simplified. Or again, if I create it from a custom product, it does exactly what I did before and goes into the quote area where I've got my information again, and I can build out my quote. One of the other things that you can have with your request for quotes in printIQ is a dashboard. So you can have a request for quote dashboard, which will come in and show, the request for quote queue, but then it'll also down below show the request for quote turnaround. So you can see here, we've got some quotes here, 57 minutes to return a quote, 1.6, 5 minutes, etc. And if we scroll down, each estimator will have their own area in this dashboard that will show the quotes that they've worked on and the how long the quote turnaround was. Something that you can have a look at, and say, okay, it's taken us too long to get quotes. Why is that the case? Or, if we're getting quotes out in 2 minutes, I think we'd be pretty happy. So the board as well works where the quotes from the queue are hyperlinked. So I can sit there and go, okay, I want to go in and have a look at that request for quote. So I can go straight from that dashboard and back into any requests for quotes that are open and still haven't been completed.
Awesome.
So that's sort of what I was going to take you through today. Just a couple of different ways that you can use request for quote internally in printIQ. Kylie's shown it from a integration standpoint with a CRM. I've shown it from just a inside printIQ standpoint.
Yeah, and I guess just to add to the integration piece, so the templates that you showed, Justin, can also be set up in the CRM so that a salesperson or a customer service person can actually initiate a request for quote using a template right from within the CRM or through the CRM mobile app, and then push that through into IQ and to then be estimated. So it's hard to show all of the magic in one short webinar, but that's also a possibility.
Excellent. All right. Well, we might just share my screen, Justin.
Yep.
So I guess what we're going to talk about now is just probably just the results, really. I think, Kylie, the results we briefly touched on before talking to Sam, but just be great for you, for yourself and to Sam, really talk about it from a return on investment, like you mentioned, Sam. It's always hard to know what results you're going to get out of it, but it'd be good to hand over to you, Kylie and Sam, to just talk a little bit about that.
Yeah, I mean, look, I definitely would love to hear from Sam. I know, obviously, as you said, there is always an initial investment when putting something like this in place, and it does take, it takes time. There's speed bumps along the way. There's no real question about that. But I guess I know, Sam, you had quite a saving by removing Office 365 and some other software pieces as well by implementing Zoho One.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, we had, subscriptions coming in all over the show, different people throughout the company using different apps for different purposes. So Zoho One has kind of wrapped those kind of into one handy package, I suppose. We've managed to I think we cut our Microsoft bill by $2,000 a month or something. So, there's a substantial saving by going that way. We've incurred the extra cost of Zoho, but that, for what it's saved, it's well worth it. It's getting it set up and maybe doing it in bite-sized chunks. I think I asked Kylie to do everything at once, which she said no to. But do it in baby steps, but we've found great results from what we've done so far. And yeah, the savings and the efficiencies are sort of hard to measure, but you can actually see we are getting things out quicker. Everything's got a whole trail behind it, and there's the visibility over what's going on without it being in a certain person's inbox. You know, other people can pick up, or you can escalate internally between things. I know the team, I use Click quite a lot as well, so the team can tag me in a ticket and say, how do we deal with this situation? And then I can just do a quick little reply and it pushes it back through to the ticket. So that's quite a handy thing for me. Yeah, no, it's very happy with the system. I don't know whether we could be without it now. So yeah.
Yeah, and for those that aren't sure what Click is, it's a little bit like Slack. It's an instant messaging tool, which, yeah, is always more efficient than a bunch of emails, I'm sure. The other piece that we did for Sam, obviously printIQ's got a great integration with finance tools like Xero, or QuickBooks and MyOb, but we also then are pulling invoice data through from Xero into the CRM so that we can get customer spend dashboards and activity and see where payments are up to on invoices, which I know is a bit of a pain point for a number of businesses, not having the whole business across whether a client is actually financial or not. So that's, you know, baby steps, as Sam said, to get that really cohesive workflow going.
Yeah, definitely. So I guess over into questions, I guess we've got, you know, roughly around 5 to 10 minutes left of the webinar. So I think it's a good time to kind of head into the questions. You know, pop them in the chat. Justin, if you don't mind having a look.
Yeah, sure. Yeah. So, yeah, there was one that Tom's just directed to Kylie about some more in-depth functionality. So that's probably more of a contact between Kylie and Tom to have that discussion.
Yeah, and look, I'd be happy to demo in more detail to anybody on the webinar or that watches the recording. Just, yeah, get in contact, no problem.
Yeah.
And there was one that had disappeared that was also from Tom, which was about you, Kylie, you did your demo from a new customer, but how does it work with an existing customer?
Yeah, so for an existing customer, the integration or the sync does an existence check across the system to see if that customer exists before it creates them. If it finds the customer or the company record in the CRM, but not the contact, it will create the contact and push them over as a new contact linked to that customer in printIQ. So it is pretty clever in terms of doing that. So yeah, it is a lot to try and show in a webinar, but yeah.
It's endless, and that's, I guess, it's really hard in a webinar to kind of cover everything. I'm very mindful that, you know, everyone, you know, is joining for different reasons and trying to get different things out of it. So we try to, you know, cut across the top around what some of the key things are, but there's a lot more that, you know, I'm sure, you know, you guys could go into offline, Kylie. So
yeah, for sure. I think just to kind of round that out, the sync is fairly immediate as well. Obviously doing that existence check and having all that clever stuff in the background, there is sometimes up to a 3 or 4 minute delay on things. But yeah, it is pretty instantaneous typically.
Excellent. Well, that's answered that next question. So the next one is currently using Zoho CRM. Is it an upgrade to Zoho One?
So Zoho One is just a bundle of Zoho apps. It's not necessarily an upgrade. It just gives you more of the applications. So that one's from Jenny. Yeah, I think you guys are actually using Zoho Campaigns as well. So Zoho One's a bundle of like 45 different Zoho apps. it's actually really well priced. It's actually it's a similar price to what you're paying now. So definitely worth having a look at that. I can definitely help talk you through that.
All right. Is there a plugin to add Zoho one, or is our present plugin to Zoho CRM enough? And then I think Jenny's added to that in the next one down, plugin to printIQ. So is Kylie, you might be able to answer this. Is there Zoho not talking to printIQ at the moment for Jenny?
Yeah, it is. I don't think they use RFQs. So where's so I can't find the question. The plug into, the RFQs definitely can plug into printIQ. I don't think you were using them when we did your integration, Jenny, but we can definitely add that on for sure. And I think in terms of the printIQ modules, Justin, you need the integrate module, is that right, to make this all work?
Yeah. There's a CRM integrate module that we have that you need that to make that work.
Yeah.
And then there's a question here: can the RFQ templates in printIQ be created by our internal printIQ admin, or does the IQ staff need to help? So the templates themselves can be done by your IQ admin. We just need to create. We need to create the template in that for the drop down, and then once that template's created, you can go and fill your boots with whatever you want added to that template. So we just need to create the name of the template and allow it to be in the drop down, and then from there it's over to you to add all the questions and things that you want added into the template. Jenny's put that they don't use RFQ, but I know, Jenny, your system does have RFQ, so
yeah,
we can obviously talk about that offline.
Exposure, because what we're finding as we're getting more and more into spending time with customers and going back over implementations that have been done a little while ago, there's so much functionality within printIQ that we're not tapping into. RFQs being one, simplified product catalogs and quick quotings and other. There's lots of areas within printIQ that aren't being leveraged off, and it's just one of those things that you go live with printIQ and you don't really take a breath to go back and have a look at how you're really using it and maybe some different things to open up. So
yeah, I would say that of all technology, right? You implement these systems and you do just have to keep going back over, because to get that extra 1, 5, 10% out of them.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah. There is
another question coming. Yep. Is there an online ordering portal plugin for customers ordering warehouse stock, etc.? So that's dependent on whether that's dependent on whether it's an IQ question or a Zoho question. So in IQ you have store, which is a module that you can add. So yeah, then is there from Zoho, could you create something to go into store? I don't know whether we've ever looked at that, Kylie.
I guess
we use IQ store and it integrates fully. Yeah. Okay. So I printIQ store and it still goes through the same way. It goes through our logistics this channel. That works. Yeah.
IQ store allow for personalized items. So no, you can't have templates in IQ store to personalize items. You can have we have a plugin in IQ to create the templates, and that's done in simplified. We can have like business card templates and things like that, but not attached to store, no.
Might be it for all the questions.
Yeah, I think so. And it's probably 3 months before we wrap up. But obviously if anyone's got any follow-up that they want to do, Justin, everyone, I'm sure you've got Justin's details, same with Kylie. Reach out to Justin, Kylie, or myself. It's been great. thanks for joining and taking the time out. Like I mentioned, we're running a webinar once a month. If there's any topics you feel that it would be good for us to cover off and you learn more about, just let Justin and I know. I know we've got one coming up in October on the ganging at the estimate stage for wide format customers, a new development that came out in version 48. So we'll take everyone through that in October. But yeah, thanks everyone for joining. It's great, and have a nice rest of the day.
Awesome. Thanks, Rachel. Thanks a lot,
Thank you
Sam.
much. See ya.
Everyone.
See you guys. Bye.